Well now, so I just came out here to take a look at my car because I'm going to be getting it looked at later. Now, I'm having an issue, and I've had an issue for a while now, where I seem to be having some sort of a gassy smell coming off of my car, and I'm really unsure about where it's coming from. I can't really tell for sure what the deal is, but we seem to be having some sort of a moist sort of layer of something on this pipe here. Now I'm wondering what the hell that is, because this is the power steering pump. And it doesn't smell like gas, and it doesn't smell like power steering fluid. What's that say? Use... Ooh, I'm supposed to use automatic transmission fluid in this, and I didn't. I used power steering fluid. I wonder if that causes any problems right there. Either way, I don't see any other noticeable issues, save for a little bit of some sort of oily residue back there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start the car up, and we're going to see exactly what the deal is here. I'm not going to use my keys. I'm going to use the spare in the wallet. Always. Let's see if we can pinpoint where that oily stuff's coming from, because I don't think I saw that yesterday. I was just looking in here. So, I have that. Let's get my flashlight off my key ring. There we go. So, this is where I'm seeing oily residue, but I'm not seeing where it's coming from. It's not coming from the power steering reservoir, because that's all dry. That's just a little surface rust, from what I can see. Now, there's nothing coming out of the pump down there either, so it's not a leak from there, I don't think. Let's give it some gas and see what happens. Let's see if I can get that into a good position there. Let's see what happens when I get some gas. No. I don't see where that could be coming from. Not at all. Because this is the fuel regulation, it looks like. Yeah, and that doesn't look to be leaking or anything, I don't think. I think that's the regulator. And here's my injectors. And for the most part, they're pretty much bone dry on the outside. Got a leak in a hose someplace down here, maybe? What do we got here? That is... I don't know. That's it's like oily, but it's not oil. My issue is where's my key? See, this is why I'm supposed to come prepared, you know? I don't smell any gas inside the system. Not inside the system. What the hell am I saying? Inside the actual car itself. No, not there either. That is really weird. One thing I will say is that here's the fire. So I cleaned out my car the other day, and I found this underneath the driver's seat. I looked that model number up, and it seems to be a brand new oil filter for this car. I'm not sure if I should use this Fram oil filter, if I should just use some other oil filter brand when I do my oil change, if I do my oil change or not. It depends on how much an oil change is going to cost for my car. Honestly, I want to pick out my own high mileage oil and use my own filter that I need, but I don't have jack stands to accomplish the mission. I have wheel ramps for a car that I used when I was working on my Bronco too, but I haven't used those in quite a while either. They're kind of in the back of the garage, and from what I remember, trying to get the other Corolla up on the wheel wells, not the wheel wells, the wheel ramps, at one time, they didn't really fit too well. So, smells fine to me. That's what it sounds like coming out if that wasn't too blowy. I'm not smelling anything. Fresh stuff. Looks like I got a power steering fluid leak at the least, right there at that fitting. So I'm going to have to get that addressed ASAP, but not right now, because I do have enough power steering fluid to accomplish getting around for now. But I'll probably have to replace this entire pump with the one off the corpse, give or take. That'll be a little while. Other than that, it seems fine. No issues. No nothing. Other than that, again, bone dry up here. Got some nice heat coming off the engine block. It's still pretty clean from the last time I touched it. Just a little bit more corrosion, probably from the winter, but it does gleam in the sun. I did clean that up pretty nicely when I got it back in August. Next things on the to-do list, I guess, after I get the fuel system issue taken a look at, because of that fuel smell that I don't know where the hell it is now, I guess first thing on the list after I figure out what the fuel smell is the fuel filter. Once the fuel filter gets taken a look at, and that gets all replaced, probably going to get the $25 one over at Napa. I trust their brand better than any of the Duralast or other crap that I could get over at AutoZone or Advance. There's a Bosch one too, but I really don't want to pay the extra 15 bucks if I don't have to. That has to get done. A new fuel carbon canister for this particular engine, which again is a 4AFE 1.6 liter. is about $324 from Napa, $323.50 or so from AutoZone. And with any luck, the one from my corpse is still good. So, if necessary, I can just use that. And then the last thing on the to-do list, because it doesn't seem to be running bad, but something I need to take a very stern looking at is replacing the Stenso cap and rotor, because they are the original 17-year-old ones from 153,000 miles ago. So I'm going to get those replaced ASAP. Here we go, we're going into the idle stage now. Yeah, it doesn't seem to... It's moving around a little bit. But it's good on oil. I checked the oil yesterday, I checked the trans fluid yesterday. Trans fluid I could probably do with a flush and refill. Both that sensor down there and the other sensor down on the other one are in there tight, so it's not a leak in the exhaust system at all. And actually that one I replaced with the one from the corpse, because this one, the one that it had on here, I thought was the issue already, and the one that was in here was already crapped, so I put that one in, and it seems to be working just fine. Also replaced this guy up here. That's got to get replaced too. I want to see how much one of those goes for. I think it's like 60-something bucks. I could probably find one for like $5 working with the proper voltages being pulled on vacuum. So if I can find one that's just working for like less than $10, I could drop that in just fine. Because a scrapyard find one of those, they're a dime a dozen. And honestly, I have no issue with using a scrapyard one if I'm already using the one off my corpse. I think that's like the, I forget. Either way, that's the one of the airflow sensors or something, vacuum, whatever the fuck it is sensor. I can't remember it off the top of my head because I don't have enough caffeine in my system. I'm just doing this as a quick video, and it's already taken me 13 minutes almost to go through all this. So we're up to temperature, and it seems that everything's running smooth. Last thing I want to take a look at once everything else is done is see how well my alternator is doing, because I know the one and the other one was really nice, but I'm not so sure if this one's running up to full spec or not. This seems to be the original alternator too, but I could be wrong. Ooh, what do we got going on here? Oh, it's just a stain of some sort on it. It's not even... It's bone dry. This guy's doing okay, it looks like. A little bit of surface rust on some of the fins there. Not too bad. In the front, normal amount of corrosion and pitting that you'd see from just normal use. I don't know, I should probably replace that radiator in about another 50,000 miles or so. It's like $80 and I can most likely do the job myself this time around. I had my mechanic friend help me with it last time. I should also take a look at this ground wire here too and make sure that's nice and beefy. I could get a piece of 8 gauge, no problem, and just drop it in. Not even 8 gauge, probably 10 gauge would be a lot better. This is like, what is this, 14 gauge or something? 12 gauge, 14? I don't know what gauge wire this is. We got some... I don't know. I think I do have a leak of the power steering section right there at that crimp, at that piece there. If I can get that taken a look at and replaced for cheap, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm just going to take the entire system from the other Corolla and give it to the mechanic guy and say, here, you take care of it. I'll pay you the the keys for the work, but that's about it. That's all I need. Again, most of the shit that's in dead Corolla is good still. The only things that I cannot use, most likely cannot use, are all here in the block. I could probably reuse the valve cover if so necessary. I can't reuse the oil cap because it's got crap in it. I would not reuse the oil cap off the other one at all for whatever reason. Other things I would not reuse are the distributor cap and rotor. I could probably make use of some sections of the exhaust on the other one if such is necessary, because the entire exhaust system on the other one is perfectly fine. The only questions I would have was, because I had coolant go through my system, I don't know if that has any effect on, because I had oil go through my coolant or coolant through the oil or something, that has any effect on the catalytic converter. If it does, then I can't reuse it. If it does not, and I can still use that, I've still got a good catalytic converter, I've still got a good transmission, I've still got an entirely good air system, brake booster, just the entire brake system here, save for the brake lines. I would not reuse the brake lines. I've got fuses, go fucking war. I've got another battery, I've got battery terminals, battery wires, ground wires, vacuum hoses, you name it, I've got it. Everything else is all good. And then the last thing would be the idle air control system here, because that is, I know that one's a lot cleaner on the other one, because but I don't know if that has anything to do with the, what would otherwise seem like a rough idle here. I don't know if this is even considered a rough idle. It has stopped moving back and forth a little bit more. I don't know. I know I probably need a couple of the motor mounts done too, but that's no biggie for the current moment. Again, it works. I'm happy with knowing that it's working right now. Yeah, these mounts are okay. It looks like, no. Got a tiny hairline cracking in the mount right there in the rubber. I don't know if that's safe or not. There's a couple other things here too. I'll figure it out. But I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to show it. It now runs like on idle compared to the old video that I made back in June. I think I did that video on the iPad Nano though, and although it's a lot more noisier here over at my grandma's house where I'm making this video, yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta replace that too. The mount for the headlight. That piece there. I'm using a piece of PCI bracket. No, that's a 3.5-inch bracket from a computer. Just one of the punch outs. Oh my goodness. And there's the PCI bracket that I'm using on the other side. See? Being a computer guy isn't bad in these sort of situations. I've got all these little tiny metal parts that I can use and just stick in places for shims and keep my headlights in alignment, sort of. Well, the fan works. So that's what I wanted to wait for, is the fan, and that's going to be the end of this video. So give me some comments. What's the deal here? Why am I smelling this gassy smell sometimes when I'm driving around? And why do I not smell any now? Yeah, I'm smelling nothing. I am smelling not a single thing. Nowhere around the car. And not from the inside either. And my floor needs to get washed and vacuumed too. Oh my god. So that's it. For my birthday, I'm getting brand new tires. I'm looking to get some Hankooks, or at the best, some, well, I'm hoping for some Yokohamas, because that's sort of what you put on these things for the most part. But if I can get some nice, decent Hankooks, the 727s that they've got in the 185 R14, 85 or 86H range right now at my local SCS over here, they seem to be pretty cheap. I can get 4 of them for like 300 bucks. So I'm going to get all those done. I'm going to get proper hubcaps and get rid of these plastic dingers on the outside. I took these 2 front ones off before the winter, and I regret heavily doing that. because it made my car look like shit. These make my car look like shit too, but my car is a Corolla, so my car is always going to look like shit. There's not much I can do about it. So that's the end of this. I'm going to cut off right here and upload this to YouTube so people that I know are going to be seeing this in Australia can watch this before it's time for bed. Because I know some of them like to drop off 1 o'clock p.m. my time. And a couple of, got a spider web over there I gotta take a look at. Alright, that's it. Again, give me a comment. What's wrong here? I don't know what's wrong here. Everything looks fine. The car runs reliably. I pick up speed nice and fast. My only question areas would be the fuel filter, the alternator, and I guess the power steering pump now that I found a new leak that I did not know existed yesterday. So I definitely have to replace that sometime in the future, but not right now because I know for a fact it is good on liquid. So that's that.